I'm going to go on to stage 2, working with semantic markup. So let's just look at the code again. Right now my body tags, I don't have anything within the body tags. Whatever you place in the body tags is what is actually going to show up on your web page. So now we want to place some content within our body tags. I want to open up the typography text file in my root folder, and this is just straight text that hasn't been formatted. So I'm going to copy and paste by doing an edit, select all, and then copy, then go back to my typography HTML page and paste that text in my document. Now in the code pane I can see that that text now lies within the body tags. I want to select all of the text, doing a select all again, and now you can see in the code view that all the text within those body tags are also selected. I want to format this text. Right now there's no paragraph returns, no spacing between the paragraphs, so I want to do a find change to fix every place that there is a line break. I want to replace that with a paragraph return. I'm going to go to the find and replace in files and select basic in current document, and so I want to find every instance where that BR or break tag occurs, and I'm going to replace it with the paragraph tags. So I want to start with the closing paragraph tag, and then the opening paragraph tag, and then replace all. So now you can see the spaces or paragraph returns added in the design view as well as in the code view. So the break tags are now replaced with the paragraph tags. If I go to below here, I can see that there is now a search panel that shows me wherever that those tags have been replaced. And then I can also click on the refresh button if I need to refresh my view. I can also go to view and refresh design view. Now I want to go to my toolbar, which is on the left of my code view here. You can also go to window, toolbars, and select common to bring up this toolbar pane. And then I want to look for my format source code button. Select that and then apply source formatting. And that just cleans up my code. If there are any spaces in between the tags and the codes, it just cleans that up. Now I want to apply some more text formatting by using my properties panel. And if you don't see the properties panel, you can go to window, properties to bring that up. So in the properties panel, I'm in HTML, and if you go under format, you can see there's the paragraph, there's also the heading 1 through heading 6. So you want to always assign your heading to heading 1, and that gives priority to your heading. So don't mistakenly think that you want to use heading 2 or heading 3 because you want a smaller type size for your heading, but you always want to use heading 1 for your main heading in your document, and you can only assign one heading 1 in your document formatting. So I'm going to select my heading here, special characters and typography, and then select heading 1 using my properties panel. Then I'm going to go to the quotes and related characters subheading, and I'm going to apply the heading 2 tag. So you can see in the code pane now you've got the heading 1 tag and you've got the heading 2 H2 tag. So I can go ahead and assign the next subheading within that to heading 3 where it says quotation marks, and select heading 3. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to assign heading 2 to hyphens and dashes. Then I'm going to assign heading 3 to hyphen, n dash, and m dash, so the different types of dashes and hyphens. Then for special characters, I'm going to assign heading 2. Then the different kinds of special characters, I'm going to assign heading 3. And then for resources, I'm going to assign heading 2. If you notice, if there's the asterisk at the tab on the to the right of the tab, it means that you haven't saved your file and you've made changes since your last save. So if you go ahead and save now, then the asterisk will disappear. I'm going to go back up to the paragraph and the quotation where it says David Ogilvy and then Ogilvy on advertising. I'm going to select Ogilvy on advertising and do a control right click, and then you can see that there's a menu that pops up, and select wrap tag. This allows you to type in shortcuts for code, and Dreamweaver brings up some options once you bring up that wrap tag, once you select wrap tag in that menu. And if you just type in CIT, then you'll see the cite tag for citations. So go ahead and just hit return to select that tag. And now you can see that it's italicized, and in your code pane, that text has the cite tag. So now we've applied the cite tag to the text. Now you can go up the paragraph and select the text in the quotes, God is in the details. So we're going to include the period but not the actual quotation marks. Again, control right click with that text selected, select wrap tag, and then type in Q for the quote tag and hit return. So now you can see the quotation tag in the code view has been added. Now we're going to switch from design view to live view. And if you see in live view is going to give you a more accurate representation of what your screen will look like in the browser. So in live view, we can see that there's a double set of quotation marks. And then in the code, you can see that there's the quote tag, and then there's another quote tag. Some browsers will automatically place the quotation marks around a Q element. And so then you would not need to insert them in using the characters on the page. But different browsers may do different things, and so they may insert different types of quote marks as well as from like straight or the curly or smart quotes. But you need to always check in live view to see a more accurate preview. Just keep in mind that in design view, it may not appear as it will on your website when you view it in a browser, in various browsers. So we're going to go ahead and just delete one of those quote tags using the code pane. So that's where using the code pane is going to be really helpful. So select the and quote tag, and we're just going to delete that. Now it disappears in design view, but if I go to live view, you can see the single set of quote marks. So you can switch back and forth from design to live view to kind of check to see how it would appear in the browser. Now we want to go to our Dreamweaver menu and select Preferences and look for Code Hints under Category. Once you select Code Hints, to the right, make sure that after typing the closing tag is selected. So this is when the code hints will appear, is after typing in the closing tag. Then click Apply and Close. I'm going to scroll down and look for my abbreviation in the special characters after the copyright symbol. So you can see this ANSI abbreviation. We're going to look for that in the code pane. Since I've highlighted it here in design view, it will highlight it also in the code view. So then I'm going to put my cursor right before the abbreviation, and then I'm going to type in the code AB, or the opening tag, and then using the code hint, it shows me the ABBR tag. I'm going to hit return to select that. I'm going to type the space bar and then T, select title, hit return, and then I'm going to type in the text within the quote marks. So I'm going to type in the full name, American National Standards Institute, between the quotation marks. Then I want to put my closing tag to the right of the closing quotation mark. I'm going to put my cursor after the ANSI text and then type in the closing tag for the abbreviation tag. Then I'm going to select the code for the abbreviation tag. So we've got the opening and closing tags for the abbreviation. I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to find the next instance where that abbreviation is used in the paragraph below it, and then just paste in that tag right before the text ANSI in the code view. So now if I switch to live view and I find the abbreviations, if I hover over the ANSI text, the full name will appear for that abbreviation. And I see down here in the second instance, I need to delete my extra ANSI text. So now in both instances, you can see the full name when I hover over the abbreviated text. So I'm going to go back to design view. In my code here, I see that I've placed the closing abbreviated tag before the ANSI abbreviation, so I'm just going to move that after the text. And then put my closing tag, my closing container tag here after the quotation mark in American National Standards Institute, then the ANSI text, then the closing tag for the abbreviation tag. So make sure that it looks identical to what I have here in the code view. Now we want to use our semantic markup to format with strong and emphasis elements rather than using bold or italics, so that for one advantage is when screen readers are reading it, they will read the text with emphasis, rather than if they were just reading it bold or italic, they wouldn't be reading it with emphasized tone. So we're going to use our dialog box again in preferences, and in the general category, in the editing options group, make sure that use strong and M in place of the bold and italic is selected. Then you can go ahead and apply and close. Now we want to look for our dashes and hyphens. So I'm going to scroll up and look for the N dash. So the N dash is when you want to use a little bit longer dash than the regular hyphen. So especially when you want to show a passage of time, like from December 15th through January 2nd, or for an equation or a mathematical expression such as using the minus sign. So in this N dash paragraph, we're going to select the word not. So we're going to click in the properties panel the bold button. And once you do that, you can see in the code view that we have now given it the strong tag. So that will be helpful for screen readers. So since we selected that in preferences, then now it shows up and it replaces any instance of bold with the strong tag. Now we want to go to the M dash paragraph right after and select the text more authority. Now you want to use the italic button, and you can see in the code view that the emphasis tags have been added. And we can always switch to live view to see how it would appear on our screen browsers. All right, and it concludes stage 2, and we'll go on to stages 3 and 4. Make sure that you complete these tutorial assignments. Even though you're not turning these files in, you need to complete these files in order to do your homework assignment. So you'll be using the same style sheet. So you'll need to go through all these steps so that you can complete your homework assignment.